All right, and lastly, we have a RIFRA case as well, right? This involves the baker.
Oh, this is the cake baker. Yeah, this isn't a RIFRA case. A RIFRA is a federal law dealing with religious freedom. This is a constitutional case.
Okay.
So the issue here is that you have this baker who doesn't want to serve a same-sex couple because, that's what he thinks God doesn't want him to do. And so he discriminated against the same-sex couple. And now he's claiming that he has a constitutional right to not follow his state's anti-discrimination law, both because he has a religious objection to it and also because he claims that he is an artist and he makes cake art. And as a cake artist, you cannot force him to make art for someone, that expresses a message that he doesn't want to express, because that would be a violation of his free speech rights. And so basically what the
I get the sense that
here,
you're a little skeptical of cake art, Ian.
I am skeptical of this legal theory. And the reason why I'm skeptical of this legal theory is because I don't think I don't think you can draw a line to limit it. One of the, two of the most seminal civil rights cases from the 1960s involving the ban on whites-only lunch counters involved barbecue restaurants. And I am from the South. Like, barbecue is something we take seriously down there. And people who make good barbecue are artists. But does that mean that, like, if I have a barbecue restaurant and I don't want to follow the law that says that I have to serve black people, that I can claim, oh, well, I am an artist and therefore the law doesn't apply to me? So I think that it's going to be very hard for the Supreme Court to draw a box around this rule. And I think that courts are going to find they're not very good at sorting out what kind of work is artistic and what kind of work is not artistic. But the real question here
is that what it's going to come down to, as to whether or not they have the ability to say that this is art? Is that really going to be what it comes down to? Because obviously, like, there is a line, right? I imagine if the guy came and said, like, well, I'm a painter and I've been commissioned, they came to me as, wouldn't the question be more about, like, you have a store that's open to the public, right?
Right.
It's not personal services that you're selling. You're selling cakes. This is a commercial entity. You have a storefront. Those seem to be the ones that they could make that determination, no?
Well, so here's what I think is the right rule. And oddly enough, this is the rule that the Trump administration proposed in its brief. They just didn't use their own rule correctly. So I think the rule should just be, like, if there's a law that effectively requires me to make some kind of work of art, and you would think by me making this that it is me saying whatever message this art is supposed to convey. So, like, if there is a law that, like, forces me to paint a painting that says Donald Trump that conveys the message that Donald Trump is awesome, and you would think that was my message and not the person who hired me to make the painting, then I think that crosses a line. But this guy's a baker. When you buy a cake from a baker, no one thinks that, like, by selling you a cake, this baker is endorsing your marriage. I think back to my own wedding, and, like, I would have been creeped out. We hired this lovely pastry chef to make this spread of desserts, and they were wonderful. And I would have been creeped out if I found out that this woman, like, looked at me and looked at my wife and judged our marriage to be morally good enough that she was willing to make a sticky toffee pudding cake for us. No, like, the fact that she made cakes for my wedding conveys the message that she is in the business of baking cakes, and that's it.
You know,
And
I'm
so
going to
that's
have to revisit what I've been telling my 4-year-old son on his birthday with the cupcakes, because we present him the cupcakes and we say, "See, the bakery loves you."
Well, you know, maybe this anti-gay cake baker should win then. But no, I mean, I
It's
just
going to
don't
break his
think
heart.
that
It's
when
going
you
to break
hire-
his little heart when he finds out that the cupcake maker just makes cupcakes.
That's amazing. Yeah, no, but I mean, I just think when you hire a vendor, like, you know, the message that the vendor is saying by being your client or by taking you on as a client is that I take clients to do this sort of work.
Right.
That's it.
Right. Hi, folks. Sam Seder here. We still need your help on our Patreon page. YouTube ads have come back, but not nearly as much as we had before. So if you can help us out, any little bit helps. Head over to our Patreon page right at this URL, and you'll help us keep helping you by making videos